So again, the past 24 hours have been wild for crypto, really. I mean, XRP is back up to what? $2.15 or something along those lines. And many coins really have started to get back on a nice rally, even though yesterday was so confusing. On the one hand, we had, of course, earlier Trump's tariffs causing everything to pump and dump, mostly dump, but there was an initial pump when the tariffs seemed to be lower. And then, of course, when things finally start to move back up, what happened? Well, China came in to say, you know what, US, we're going to hit you with some even more significant tariffs, which caused everything to kind of fall back down. But then again, over the past few hours, everything has slowly but surely in the crypto space been moving upwards, while on the stock market, everything still seems to be down. And actually, when I say down, I mean tremendously down. I mean, the numbers that we are seeing right here is crazy. And it's actually interesting to see this sort of direct inverse correlation where the crypto market's up and the stock market's down. We don't really see that too often. But really, a lot of the news that's been coming out recently has been pretty interesting. I mean, just now we have China rejecting the sale of TikTok to the US because of these new tariffs that came over from President Trump. At the same time, we have the SEC, and this is actually a pretty massive statement saying that fully backed stablecoins that maintain at least one-to-one redemption and low-risk reserves are not securities. This is a huge win for crypto stability and adoption. Well, for the most part, it just basically means what I think, right? Is that they're going to be doing some proper audits, or at least they're going to want the audits to be, super secure. But generally speaking, if it's a one-to-one redemption, meaning you have one USDT and can redeem it for $1, and the risk is rather low in that sense, that's literally what they put down, then it should be fine and not a security. And to add to that, Bitcoin finally breaking away from stocks, BTC digital gold narrative gaining momentum. Yeah, you love to see it. Now, when you start looking at the numbers, it seems that President Trump, after he took office, right, the entire stock market has already now lost $10 trillion. And I'm just reading through some of the announcements that I've posted on Twitter. The U.S. stock market headed for the biggest two-day drop in 5 years. Treasury Secretary 𝗬𝗏 says Bitcoin is emerging as a store of value. But really, when I just start scrolling through, all the news recently has been crazy. JP Morgan estimating a 60% chance of a recession in 2025. It's just, man. I mean, take a look at this and tell me it's not crazy. This right here, this chart is the freaking S&P, all right? We've been putting some numbers up here that are just absolutely crazy. At least in my opinion, the numbers that we've been pulling here when it comes to the drop and everything, it's just been absolutely mesmerizing. And really, look at this. $3.25 trillion wiped out from the U.S. stock market in a day. And at the same time, though, $5.4 billion was added to the crypto market. And I think one of the interesting things is indeed how coins like XRP really are winning. And there, of course, like always, is a lot of skepticism, a lot of criticism. For example, Scott, actually one of my friends, said $1 billion worth of XRP got released from Ripple's escrow, and it sparked concerns about oversupply. Well, yeah, 1 billion XRP, so about $2 billion got released, but it's been every month for like 10 years now. So why are we all of a sudden panicking? At the end of the day, I'm not sure it's actually even a bad thing, but I've discussed it in multiple videos. Anyway, President Trump saying China played it wrong. They panicked, and right now things are going to get worse for it. At the end of the day, this was the biggest news of the day, that the California governor also asked that other countries could exempt California from these retaliatory tariffs, but I'm not sure they will be doing that. Regardless, you get the idea, right? Just absolutely crazy moves. Just in the middle here, there's one more thing that I just saw. Look at this. Treasury Secretary 𝗬𝗏 says Bitcoin is becoming a store of value. To many investors coming to the United States and investing massive amounts of money, my policies will never change. This is a great time to get richer than ever before by President Trump. Man, they're putting the market in a crazy spot, but ultimately, I think still that we'll get out on top. It's just, like I've been saying a few times here, a matter of time. Trade-wise, if you guys were looking for an update, nothing really has changed too much. Yesterday, we got into XRP, and I basically said, like I've been saying for a while, if you just religiously buy the XRP dip, it kind of turns out well almost every single time. And here again, we've proven it that right now, buying XRP at $2 was, again, a beautiful gift, as the price right now is back at $2.15. Again, if you're a bit more of a longer-term player, hey, I get it. Give it a little bit of time. I think it will be all right, though. Let's go with the flow is what I always say. But regardless, Nothing too crazy is going on in terms of the crypto news here. I've been scrolling around for a little bit. I think one of the only interesting things to think of is that our all-time highs, at least for most people, was about 90 days ago. Because a little bit less, I think, because it was around January 19th or so when Trump's meme coin went live and when Bitcoin hit an all-time high and when many coins were at crazy peaks. But it was a bit before that some other coins peaked. But then again, I'm just thinking, it's been 90 days, let's say, already, right? I wonder if it will take 90 days or way more before we hit a new all-time high. I mean, 90 days, 3 months or so right now. We're in, let's just say, April. Could we see all-time highs in July? It's possible. I think, again, it will take slightly more than that. But still, if you think about it, about half a year or so of just quiet, chill before, again, half a year of crazy bull, it doesn't really seem too mad. It doesn't really seem too far out of touch, out of reality. And so when I think about that, I keep thinking, man, you know what? All we got to do is just be patient, go with the flow, realize what we're holding for, and we'll all be fine. Many people commented saying, Dusty, what are you going to talk about today? The most important thing I can really tell people is just do not panic, understand what you're holding, and think about it as a sort of a game. A lot of people are trying to take you out. They're trying to take your coins as cheap as possible. Now, whenever I say that, people comment saying, why would they want more? Think about it. We all know these reserves are coming. We all know they're going to be focusing on US coins. Everybody, if they could choose, would rather have their coins cheaper than more expensive for a purchasing price. I would rather have them be at a high price than a low price in the end. So if the US government wants to get them, or if really any company really believes in the US's vision, just saying something, wouldn't they also prefer to get it to the lowest price possible to buy and then to the highest price possible once they bought? And when you really think about it like that and think of just how young this whole crypto space is, you realize just how crazy the gains are most likely going to get in the near future. And that's just what keeps me going through all this, right? Takes a bit of time, but it will all be worth it. At least that is my opinion. Make sure you press the like button. If you want to trade crypto, check the link down below to Blowfin. It's a platform I'm trading on right now. And that's about it.